Yeah. So here I am Friday afternoon, and don't you know, Volkswagen van time. So Friday afternoon, but this would be the day before Christmas Eve. So when you were looking at this, if you're lucky enough to look at it tomorrow, it'll be your Christmas Eve edition. Anyhow, I'll show you what happened here this week. So what did I do? I finished up. Hey, I finally finished up. In here, look, you can't see anymore in there. It's all, can't see my fingers. Hey, no fingers to see because it's filled in. Yay, that's done. I'll show you. Hey, nicely done too. Anyhow, so that part there, the rear quarter panel is done. Then I went and I hunted out that piece over there, right, where am I pointing? Right there. And that sure was dug a lot deeper than what I thought would have to dig in there, because it all is the interconnectedness of everything, hey? That's the way it works around here. So this part here, which was rusted, right? So I put a new piece there, and then I found out underneath that it all hooks in together with each other. Everything hooks together. And then there was, right up underneath here, there was a hole. So I had to take out all this, like I cut out a piece here so I could access it. Then put a new piece in going straight down, and this piece here joins onto it right there at that body line. Then also down in there, that wall, am I pointing right? Anyhow, that wall here, which is sort of the outside wall, it carried on onto this flange here, and then this wall here on the back side, this wall had a flange on it going into it. So there were like three pieces there, and kind of a complex bit of work. Anyway, and then there was a hole here that I fixed, right? So that got done. Then I decided for something completely different, I'd get after the trailing arm. Then this part, like that was rusted out here, is all, oh there, you can see that right there. That's all, I fixed that up, you can stick around and see that. But then, towards the end of the day, then when I was finishing that up, I took a look at this, and it's sadly in need of repair. So I'm in the midst of building a piece. It'll have to have this groove in it to fit the spring, which we'll get into. And I guess that's next week's project, because it's certainly not put together yet, but there's part of it done. So anyhow, there'll be what's happening. So this will be your Christmas Eve edition, and sure do have a Merry Christmas and a happy season to everybody. And I'll see you, well, likely see you next year. Bye for now. Yeah, here I am. Another week started on the Volkswagen van. Anyway, so I'll show you what I'm up to here. I got just started up today, late start today. Get this thing to swing around here. Yep, there we go. So in where I left off yesterday, or last week, there was a gaping hole here, so I figured I better just fill that in, and now I can put this piece in here. Yesterday I stuck this piece on here, fairly close to right. It can get fixed up after. So, new piece right here, and I don't remember. Yeah, no, there's just that one bend down here, eh? And then down to the bottom. So I'll take a look at the other side. What did I do on the other side? Don't remember. So the front piece, the front piece I didn't have to do anything to, so it just goes down, makes that same bend, and it stops there. Like it doesn't have to hook on to that part there. It's just free. Oh, that makes it easier, doesn't it? I'll do that then. So it just hooks on here, and then this is free of, this hangs free in there. Let the dirt fly in and fly out. Okay. Yeah, so now I made a piece in the bender over there, just with the right, can you see that? With the right angles on it, or the right bends on it. And it'll fit in pretty close to right there. Anyhow, close. That's right there is where it goes. And then you can see it on this side. It comes to the bend there. It comes to the top there. And all that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, then it's got a bit of a crown on it because you can't really see very much, but there's a bit of a crown on this right here. So now I'm going to just weld a side piece to it, right here. Make sure it's the right side. Whoops, this side here has to have a flange on it. Like that. And then that'll be that. Oh well, there we are. There. That's made. Actually, it looks pretty good. I might have to round that corner out a little bit right there. Or maybe not, because it sort of fits in there. I would just, excuse me for a minute while I get this in here. Whoops, there we go. That's what it fits like. Where is it? Am I pointing the right way? Yeah. Right there. And then on the inside, oops, fell out. Stuff falls out all the time. Can you see that now? The inside, it goes right down to that corner there and fits in. So I'm going to just let that be. That'll be just fine. Okay, now I got to drill those. I don't know, can you see those black dots on there? That's where I'm going to put some plug welds. Yeah, there it's coming together, and it fits in there pretty nice. This part here matches just perfectly. I'm impressed. Impressed myself there. So now this part here just seems to come and butts off there, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So happy with that. Yeah, there now. That's done. And this is done. That looks pretty good. And the seam is back to what it was before. I'll put some seam sealer on the back side of this thing in there. That'll seal that up. Now, I don't even think there's a little bit more grinding to do right there. Whoops, where am I pointing? A little bit more grinding to do right there. And maybe a pinhole there. Okay. Yeah, here I am back at it, and coming along pretty good. Getting close to the end of welding time. Here, I'll show you. See if that'll turn around. Yeah, it does. So this part here, I think I showed you already that this is all put back together. Looking good. Now I got to get something to grind inside there. That'll be a task waiting. That's all in. The running board's okay. I fixed up this little bit of like that triangle hole there, and there were a couple of holes just right on the edge of this thing here that needed fixing, so I put a plug in and put a plug in, and then I put a little bit of metal in here to finish off that flange. Anyhow, now I go and do, there's the same thing as this on the other side, or I could do this. Maybe I'll do this, then I'll switch over to the other side and fix up what needs over there, because I've got to do the same thing as this plus the window over there, so I'll figure that out. Yeah, so most of the reason I haven't attacked this is because of this. Like, there's that flange that looks okay, and try to weld onto that from above or below. I don't know if it goes from above or below. But what I can do, I think what I'll do is run some self-tapping screws into it from below and just weld them off on each side, and that'll make it so it's good. That'll actually work, I think. Then I'll clean off this bit here and this side here before I do anything. I'll get the torch out and clean that excess rubber off there. Where am I pointing at? Am I just pointing at the camera? Or at the, who knows what I'm pointing at. Anyway, I'll get at it and get that stuff going, and then right at the back there, right, well, right back here. I'll take the needle scaler to that and see what's going on. I don't think it's a problem, but you never know. Yeah, now so found two with the needle scaler, a couple of spots here. I don't know whether they were supposed to be there. I don't know. And these two spots up here that were just a little punch through with the, oh, what do you call that? Punch through with the needle scaler. Should do a bit more right there, I guess. The that's all I found, and then I got to scrape this off with the little tool. I put some heat to it, but I think I like that little tool better. So I'll scrape that off, maybe clean this up a bit and see what happens. It makes lots of noise with the compressor going. Yeah, there now, that piece is welded in there. And the outer edges, well, you can't see because I got a light in one hand, but the outer edge there is welded from the top. But the back corner there, I still have to figure out how to get that solidified, for a better word. Anyhow, but we'll figure it out. And then while I was waiting for stuff, I did these plugs in there. So that's one more piece out of the way. Pretty ugly welding, but that'll all get covered up with that stuff, whatever that stuff is. And we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, anyway, that's all for today. So we'll see you again tomorrow, I hope. Bye for tonight. Yeah, here I am back at it. Now, what did I get done? So I'll show you. I did get the back quarter panel finished up there. Hang on. It's back here. Right up here. So, pretty ugly welding. Might have to do a little bit more welding there. But the everything's in and it's solid. This part here is welded from up above onto the flange that comes across there. So I'm going to have to just fill that up with that, whatever you call that stuff, body filler, the metal to metal stuff. Then I did get these holes plugged up. I think I showed you that yesterday anyhow. So that's good. Now I still have to do the plug welds on from the top down right up here. So I'll get that later. I'm going to go to the other side over here. Excuse me. I just fix up, there's this little hole right here that I left behind, and this hole right here that I left behind. Fix them up, and that'll be that for this body work, I think. Outside, anyhow. See if I see anything else. This has to be, like, I have to grind that off. It's too long here, but that's okay, I can do that. Couple of pinholes here and there. But otherwise it's all, there's a pinhole right there you can see through, and a pinhole somewhere right here. Saw it a minute ago. Anyway, I'm actually pretty happy with it all. It's come together pretty good. Pretty well, pretty good, pretty well. A couple of pinholes right in there. Get them fixed up. Oh yeah, and I have to do the inside wall right in behind here. I forgot about that. And the floor, of course, but I haven't forgot about that. Anyway, I'll pull the welder over and see if I can get this bit here done, which is outside. And that'll be the outside pretty well welded up. Yeah, that's half of it done. Hot. Now to get this other half, it's kind of the way I built it there when I was putting it together. Didn't do a very good job for carrying on, but I figure I can get that. I'll do something. Yeah, there, that's welded now. Not the very best job in the planet there, but I'll get in there with a grinder of some sort and then get this gap figured out later. Well, that'll be a body filler thing, make it look good. Anyhow, that's done. This part up here, where am I? Get a light, get a light. Bring me the light. There, this part here's done. I just took the tops off those welds. I really should do a bit of grinding up there, I suppose, too, eh? Forgot about that stuff. I'll get to that right away. And then these plugs at the back here, I got them sorted out all right. So, pretty well done with welding on the outside of it. There might be a couple of little spots, like I can see one spot right up here. Let me get around here. Right there, like I gotta just fill that little gap in, right? And then there's a gap underneath here, but I think that should be left open to let it drain. So I'll just fill this gap here to make it look good and then leave that one open to let it drain. That'll be okay. And otherwise, yeah, isn't that something? I likely will find more on the outside somewhere, but for now I'm gonna call it pretty well done. Yeah, so I figured this is on the inside of the car. There's a steering wheel and then the front seats here. This is the front seat bracket that I did all that work on a couple of weeks ago. Then I didn't bother with this because I figured, that'll be simple. I'll just fix that later. But nothing is simple because, don't you know, there's a hole right there. And that goes to the outside. So now I'll have to see what I can do about fixing that, because this is sort of structural here. This is structural, but this is not. And that's structural inside there, but it's good. So I'll cut a line up about here somewhere, likely. Up about here. And then that line there might be okay the way it is. Get this out of here and see about getting this reattached. And that's not over there, that's where the bodywork was welded to it anyhow, so I'll get that out of the way and then see what I have to do. Was I pointing the right way with that? Yeah, I guess so. Right down there. Okay. Yeah, didn't I just say that I was done with the exterior metal work? Oh well, not quite. So up in here, this was all, like when you got into it, it was all better take it apart. So I did. Anyhow, there's a piece of where am I here? So the piece of metal comes out here and a flange, and this one comes into a flange, and that seals that seam along there. Then this piece here at the top just goes across and it butts on there. So the floor piece goes across to just to underneath this. This part here is up here. See where my finger is there? Can you see my finger? That's part of the door frame. So it just gets put back on. The floor goes underneath it, and then it'll be plug welded into that. Now back to this side. This part here is like a flange all the way around to here, and then this part here comes over and flanges onto that too also. So we'll see if I can get that built back in. It's kind of a complex piece because this one here, it wows in and out, and anyway, I guess I've done that kind of stuff before. I can do it again. So we'll see what I can come up with there. The nice thing about that, it's a square corner at the top, and there's two pieces come together there, so I'll do that. Anyway, that's it for today. So I'll come back and try, and maybe I can say the same again tomorrow about finishing the metal work on the outside, hey? We'll see. There we are. That's better. Anyway, here I am at the Volkswagen van, right? And I've got to fix that up today, I think. I'll lift it up and see what goes on. Handy to have a hoist. Right around there, and I won't I bashed my head right away, so got to go up another click yet. So I'll put in this piece with the flange on it first, up here, and then I'll manufacture a piece in there to go. I think that's the right order. Maybe I should do it the other way around. No, I'll go ahead and put this piece in with the flange up to here. I got to clean up that edge there a little bit so I can weld on it. Okay. Yeah, so it's luckily a good thing I took this apart. This part here, like, gets a flange out coming this way. That wall piece there, that you can see in there. Can you see my fingers? I don't know. Can't see anything in here. Right up in here, there's a wall coming along there. That comes out, meets the flange. So there's 3 layers in here. And then this part here comes over and makes a flange in this way. And that's the 3rd layer. So I guess I'll get it put back together properly, or close to properly, and then it might be okay. Yeah, now I've got this gape here to fix, and then up here I've discovered I just poked through there with a chisel, and don't you know there's a rust hole there. Now I might have to cut it open here to gain access to that and then weld that piece back in again. We'll just see how it works out. There you go, there's piece number 1. It'll slide right in here, right? I'll weld that in, and then I'll work on piece number 2, which will be that inside piece there coming out to meet here. Okay. Yeah, that piece went in remarkably easily. Now, we'll have to just, I'm not going to worry about grinding that at all, because I just ran a bead down along that whole seam, and it was pretty nice welding. So now, I'll see about getting this side piece put in here. A little bit of cleanup down there to do. I don't know how I'll get into that for sure, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, now I've got that second piece in there. Maybe I'll go around and show you from the inside. Yeah, there it is. It's pretty well just a straight flat piece, except that the wall curves in there, and there's a humpity bump right there that I had to put into it. So I just did that with a ball peen hammer on the vise, and that made that little bit of a bump out on it. Now, if you can see down here, I've got the clamps on it, and I'm going to put a couple of spot welds along there to hold that tight together whilst I get this other piece made and put in there. Then it's got to be spot welded 3 on top of each other, and that's pretty deep for my spot welder. Yeah, one thing that'll help is to clean up these electrodes on the spot welder so that they aren't all dirty. That'll make it weld better. So I did that. Now I'll give it a go at welding a couple of spot welds up in here. Where am I at? Right there. Anyway, I won't set up the camera for it because it's no room for you and me there. Yeah, there now. Let me see if I can see that stuff up there. Can you see that? I think that's pretty well done. The light's not the greatest there, but anyhow, I'll grind that off a little bit so it's smooth, and then I'll build the next piece. I won't take the spot welder too far away, so I don't have to lift it too far. Yeah, now that's kind of in there. It's kind of pretty rough, but I'll get it fixed up. Now this part here, I've got it spot welded here, here, and here, and spot welded at the bottom. Now I'm just going to normal weld it along this chunk here because the spot welder won't reach back that far. And I'll just put lap welding along there somehow or other. Anyhow, figure it out. And then this part here, I'll weld it from the inside here, and that'll be that done. Yeah, there, that piece isn't going anywhere. Pretty ugly welding. I'll get a little bit of a grind on that, and I'll clean it up on the other side, and it should look okay. There's spot welds at the top there, nice and clean. Down here I just did that little bit of lap weld on it to hold it together there, and that spot weld at the bottom, and I welded that together right. I can't get my fingers in here. Right here I welded that together at the bottom here. So it should work, should be okay. Now I have to fix that little bit up in there, which I think I do have to excuse me, open it up from here so I can get in there and sort of see what's going on. So I'll cut that piece out. I'll cut a piece out of here. Oops, where am I pointing? I'll cut a piece out of here, then I'll save it and I'll just weld it back in again afterwards. Yeah, so I made a little piece to fit in here, and I made this at a 16 gauge because this was doubled up here, and I'll see if I can get that apart and put this piece back on where it was somehow or other. But for now, I'll get this just tacked in here and see what we can do. Yeah, so now there's a day's work. I got it all put back together. Like I said, this is 16 gauge in there. I don't know that I'll be able to get that piece back on top there or not. That's why I put the heavier metal in. Now, down here it's all in. And on the back side, it's all in. Right, I'll show you. And there was a couple of hoopy curves in there. Had to do some work to get that to fit to the... See how this is... Where am I pointing here? See how this is sort of hooped around in there. So I had to bend it. And it was hooped around this way here too. Like both ways. So I had to bend it on the shrinker to make it come out like that, and then also took the other side and shrunk it to make it come out like that, so it'll fit up against the corner there, and fits pretty nice. So grind it tomorrow because I'm done today. That's pretty well it for today. Time to go and have some supper, or go and make some supper. Yeah, it's 5:30. Working overtime. Yeah, plenty dark out, so time to give it up. So I'll see you tomorrow. And that's one more chore out of the way there. So now chores that are left are doing up the plug welds there. Finish fixing that window right over there. Anyway, and underneath this cardboard there's a couple of holes in the floor that I have to fix. So, then, that might be it. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, here I am back again. It's Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday today, yep. Anyhow, back onto the, whatever you call this, Westfalia 1982 Volkswagen bus. I'll show you what's going on. Anyway, here. So, I cut out this piece here, like I was talking about yesterday. Finished up that and grounded it down, and it looks not too bad. And then I cut out this piece here that I talked about yesterday, where there was a hole up in here. And then I took the needle scaler to here, and there's a hole right there that I'll have to also fix up. But that's pretty simple to fix that hole. It's just put a piece of metal in there and clean it up right. Anyhow, and here's the piece that I took out right over here. I cleaned up all that gumbo on it. So I'll show you here. It's kind of three pieces come together here, or two or three pieces. What happens here? Yeah, this piece here goes right down, and then this piece here comes to meet it. So that's what I'll do again now. So this piece here and this piece here are congruous, they're the same, right? Then this piece here comes onto them. And maybe I'll, instead of putting that stuff back in there, I'll just make some new pieces. No, it looks like there's three pieces. No, that's just two pieces because it's got a little crease in there to make it sort of come together. So I can do that too. Okay, that's what I'll do. In fact, I might just, because this piece here has the window opening on it. We'll see. I guess I can make that window opening all right. We'll do that. I'll make this piece here to fit onto there and down here. And I'll clean this hole out so that it's right. That's just that yucco in behind there. I'll have to get the heat to that and clean it out. Okay, that's what's next. Yeah, now here I am. I've welded in a piece a little tiny piece in here. Got it welded from this side, ugly, but welded. And then I welded it in from up above here, ugly, but welded. And now I'm working on a piece to fit into here. Now it's got to have that crease in it that goes across for the most of the way, or all of the way. Have a look here. Yeah, all of the way. See, that's got that crease right there. So to make that, you just make it on this, on here. I've got, there I've got the line, that line mark where it's got to be, and it's got to push out on the bottom there. Oh, there you go, around in circles, right? So I'll hook you into the tripod and see what I can do about getting this pointed right. All this stuff I might take out later. Anyhow, so I've got that line along there, and I've got the cold chisel and a heavy hammer. So you just take the cold chisel and put it up against it, making sure it's tight in the pipe. And it just touches the material. Hopefully enough. I'll take a look. See, that's got that little bit of a body seam in there. I don't know if you can see it on here, but there's a bit of a body seam in there where those two pieces come together. So that's going to go into the vehicle like this. Am I looking at the right place? Yeah, into the vehicle like that. But I have to just trim off that side so it fits, and trim off that side so it fits, and trim off the bottom so it fits. I'll zoom it out here. Oh, it's going the wrong way. There. Anyhow, there's the piece. And that came out all right. So I'll carry on. Yeah, here now. So here's the piece. I've got it sort of made. I don't know whether it's just good management or good luck, but it fits pretty nice. It'll fit right in there, like that. Anyway, won't stay by itself, yeah. Anyhow, that's not quite right, but it'll fit pretty close to that. So it's got to be welded across the bottom, and oh, more sneezing. So, got to be fitted across, welded across the bottom, welded up that side to here, or from here down. Then on the inside, it's got to be sort of welded. I don't know how I'm going to get that, but we'll figure it out. I'll weld it up on both sides so that it's sealed in there. Then the other piece, the outside piece, the curvy piece, will go on to here, and I can reach down to make plug welds. We'll just see how that works out. Yeah, now to go in here, to make that like a nice smooth curve like that, the way that goes around there. I've got this, I built this a long time ago. I only use it every now and then, but it's an old piece of pipe here, not very thick pipe, it's only just thin pipe there. An old piece of pipe, and then this other old piece of pipe on top of it, and you just put your metal in there and just push it around so that it comes up to the curve. It works pretty good. I've only got a spacer of about a couple of lock washers in there, big enough to be a spacer. Now it's got to be that long where that line is there, so I'll cut that off and see if I can make it fit. Yeah, pretty noisy here right now, but there's that piece all in, and this piece here back in, and it's welded up underneath. Just getting a look here. Yeah. Up there it's all welded up. It's pretty ugly, but it'll be okay. And I'll cover all this up with that stuff. A little bit more welding to do right there, I think. I'll go check it out and clean it up a bit over there, right there. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, so that's not so noisy now. That's all welded up and looking pretty good. And I fixed up down in here whereas did some more grinding down there. But I think what I'll do now is lift the thing up and do some cleaning up in here, vacuuming and stuff like that. So that's about as far as we get today. By the time I finish cleaning up, I'll just be getting ready for tomorrow. I might just take a look at that trailing arm, either that one or the other one, whatever one's got a little tiny hole in it, and see if I can fix that up. Yeah, now here, this is the only damage I see on the trailing arm is right in here. Kind of goes right around the bottom side here. So might have to get this out of there. Yeah, first I should get this out of there. That would mean getting that out of there too. So that's, I'll use the press for that, one of the presses. I'll get that pushed out. And a little bit of heat, I imagine. Then see about fixing that up. But that's not today, that's for tomorrow. And where am I here? Am I looking at the right spot? Yeah, right there. Anyway, so that's it for today. It's 5:05, it's supper time. Well, time to go and make some supper. So I'll drop this back down. I've cleaned the floor up reasonably well, so that, I'm not walking in all that dust and rust. Now, Greg, he said to me, he said, how many pounds of wire do you suppose you've stuck into the machine? And I've only stuck about 10 pounds of wire into the machine. But the real measure is how many pounds of rust went out into the vacuum machine. And that would be a fairly large number. Anyhow, there you go. See you tomorrow. Yeah, there we are, back at it again, and that behind me is the trailing arm for the driver's side. Here, I'll just show you what's going on. Here, so this is the, I think that's the underneath side, the side that's closest to the ground. Yeah, because that's where the spring goes there, eh? Anyway, all right, see that? Yep, that's where the spring goes. So that's the top. This is the bottom. And this is the only, I don't know why this would be, it's on the driver's side where most of the bad rust was mostly gone now. So I just have to cut this out here. See if I can fashion a new piece and put it in there. Now, first I'll have to get my big old homemade press, like that press there. I don't think it'll fit inside that press, but it'll fit inside that big old press there that goes in here, pointing here, goes in the vise. So I'll get that up here and see what we can do about getting these rubbers pressed out. I'll show you how to do it, or how I do it. Yeah, there, most of the work's just getting it lined up in there. Likely my arm will be in your way now, but I'll just take the press and it pushes it on through. It's not lined up very straight, but this one here doesn't have to be lined up too straight. I think this will just come through all right. It's liable to push everything out of the way here soon. It'll all come smashing apart in a second here. I think I'll let it up and see what happens. I think it's mostly out there just holding on by the skin of its teeth there. Yeah, there, all came out. Yeah, so there it is there. I'll have to take the other side apart. There's, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, that's what comes out of there. And then this is just an old race from a bearing on the BMW. So the inside here is also somewhat rusted. I'll show you later. I'll get the other side out and see what it looks like first. Anyway, it'll take me a while to get set up to do the other side, so I'll turn this off. Yeah, so that side won't fit in here at all because of, why did that ever get bent up somewhere along the way? I don't know why. Anyway, that's the way that is. So I'm going to modify this. This is actually the bottom of it right here. and that's the top. So I'm going to make a little thing here that I can hang this part of the jack on it. Can you see that? Yeah, right here. I'll make a thing so I can just hang this on there, and then that'll hang straight down, and then I'll be able to work closer to the ground and push it out to the side here a little bit like that to make things work better, right? What am I doing here now? I think I'm too far in, right? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah. Anyway, there it is there. That was lots of wasted space there. But I'll go ahead and I'll do some modifications on this and see if I can make it so it'll work for what I want it to do. Yeah, now I've got this one set up in here and going up. Let's see if I can get, I think it's coming through. Yeah, there it's coming through on the top there. See what happens. I think it's going to be far enough that'll work for me. That's up tight, so we'll see what happens here when I take it apart. Yeah, there it's all free. There, it's out of there, right? That was an interesting little project. So here's the bush. This one here is not as bad as what I thought it would be. This one here is as bad as what I thought it would be. Well, they're both. I've got new ones anyhow to go in there. So now, take all this apart and then I'll take a work on that and see what I have to do. I'll see if I can repair it. I don't know if I can or not. If I can, it's good. If not, I'll have to order a new one or find a new one somewhere. Am I looking in the right spot? Where is it? Yeah. This end here had the rust on it. And there's rust on the inside of that there. So I don't, well, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, there, I guess that's fixable. This part here, like it's got a big heavy collar around it, and the bushing sits in there, so I think we're okay. It's just a matter of fixing this up so that it's around the bushing all the way, and the same thing right here, a little bit of welding there, but I'll see what I can come up with there to make it right. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. I can take a piece of, like I've got this piece of steel here that I can bend a what do you call that? Bend a piece of metal around and be the right diameter, because that's the right diameter there. Okay. Anyway, I'll see what I can come up with here. Okay, there now I've got that. Pretty noisy in here with that compressor going, but I cleaned that out. Now I have to make a piece of metal that'll fit in that circle there, but I need to put the right diameter on it first. So I've got this socket here. I don't know what size it is, 7/8 maybe, and I was figuring that 1 1/8 or something like that, but it happens to be just the exact same size as the inside of that thing there. Did I point the right way? And the inside of that thing is the same size as that is. So I'll just take the hammer, the flashing hammer, and pound that piece of steel around. Then I'll be able to just take out a piece to fit into there. I'll show you as I get along. Yeah, there, that finally quit the noise. So there I did like I said, and I just pounded I hold it in the vise and pounded it around. So now I have this, whoops, now I have this piece of metal here. It's got the right diameter for the inside of that. Now it's just a matter of I'll take a piece of paper and make I'll show you. I'll take a piece of paper and make a bit of a pattern, then put it on here and see if I can cut it out to that. Yeah, now there, I've got a piece of cardboard in there, right? And now I'm going to take and trace it where that has to be around there. And that should make... Now inside I put another socket in here just about the right size to hold that up snug like against the edge of the inside. Then I'm going to take my little bit of paint there and just paint it, because that'll, wherever the paint is where I cut it, right? Okay. There, that's what it kind of will look like. Now I'll just cut that out and see if it still fits inside there. There. Well, now I've got it marked on my piece of metal, right? So I'm just gonna see if I can trim that around fairly close, and then I'll finish it up on the grinder so that it fits in. Yeah, there it is. It's pretty darn close to being right. So I'm gonna weld it in and see how it looks. Then I'll have to clean off the inside of it so that it's nice and round, but I think I have a tool that'll get in there. Yeah, I don't know, I was taking pictures maybe, or just, who knows. Anyway, there you go, that's got that inside there now. And here's the, is that the one? This is the one, this size here. Slides right through without any trouble at all. So I'm pretty sure I can get the, what do you call that thing, the bushing to go in there. Not quite as smooth as that one there, but pretty close. Pretty good. That'll be good for me. I'm happy with that. Now I can start fixing this side here. I'll make it in 2 pieces, or 3 maybe. But first I'll make a piece that goes with a flange on here, and then we'll use the bending machine to make that come around all right. And I've got 16 gauge metal, or 16 gauge metal to do it with right down there. So that'll be good. Yeah, there, that's enough for today anyhow. So I started working on making a curved thing for here, but it's just, that's the too thick a metal and too much of a curve for my shrinker stretcher to handle. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can do it a bit differently somehow. Maybe I will. Maybe if I trim that around a bit, right? Anyway, I'll think about it overnight and we'll get at it tomorrow. So enough for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's just about Christmas. My. What do we do? I'll have to take a day off. Anyhow, bye for now. Yeah, here I am. It's Friday, December 23rd. Huh. And on the Volkswagen van. Now I'm just working on, today I'm working on the, see if that'll flip. Yeah, there we go. On the trailing arm. So I was able to fix this up in there to my satisfaction, that it'll hold a bushing fine. And it's welded up pretty ugly on this side, but the other side is, inside is nice and smooth. That little, I have to fix that little bit up right there. Did I get that inside there? I wonder. In there, it's nice and smooth in there. A couple of little spots to fix up on the outside. So then, first off, I tried building a piece to make it go around there. Failure. So I decided I'd do it this way, and I've got this flange on it, and so that it sits in there just about right. And in fact, really close to just about right. So I'll get that welded in, fix those 2 seams, and spot weld it down here, or plug weld it down there. That'll be that half done, and then I'll figure out a piece for the other side here. Anyhow, I'll carry on. Yeah, there's first half done. So I plug welded it here, and I welded the ends on, and I also ran a bead along the edge here, and then welded these together. Now I've got to figure out a thing for this side. That might be a bit easier than the other one. See what happens. Yeah, where am I? Okay, there it is, yeah. So it's all back together. This part, I put the one side in, and then I cut a piece that fit pretty good up here, and pounded it, and then just used it, like I welded it up here and then used a hammer and pounded it in down to here. And boy, oh boy, it just sort of fit right in there like a glove. So I'm quite happy with that. And then the hole, this is the size I need to go through there, and it's, I don't know, can you see that? Am I pointing the right way? Yeah, that goes through. No trouble. Right on. So it's all good. Now I'll just clean this up and I'll maybe give it a coat of paint and see what happens. Yeah, now here's something interesting. This is interesting. So this piece here, it sits on like right there. About right there. In fact, exactly right there. And it's what the spring goes on, right? But you see how this end of the spring here has got a curlicue in it. It has to hit right down in that hole right there, which wasn't a hole to begin with, but it is now. So it has to go on right like that, right like that. There. So, anyhow, underneath is the indentation from the, like this is built to handle that. And what has happened over the years is, I gotta put that spring somewhere safe. It's a broken spring anyhow. What's happened over the years is that this has got water underneath it and then rusted out and pushed up and made it all screwy up. Anyhow, so have to build a new one of these, right? So here's I got a piece of pipe here, pretty good piece of pipe. We'll put a piece of pipe. That's about the right size pipe. Put that, and then I'll build a circle around it. So I guess I got to cut a circle in a piece of metal. Cool. I'll do that. Yeah, there I cut out a rough circle with the grinder, right? It was pretty, well, a little bit better than rough, but same size as that thing there, right? Looks pretty good to me. Then I cleaned up the edges on the grinder, pointing over there at the grinder, yeah, there at the grinder. And now it had these, like there's these 3 holes in it. Whoops, where? Hole here, hole here, hole here, right? So that would be the, what do I want to say here? That's these 2 holes here, is that hole and that hole for lining it up right. So now I've marked those 2 holes on it. Then I'll be able to get the 3rd one by, just bisecting those holes and get the measure to the center. Okay, well, I'll drill a couple of holes in it and see what I come up with. Yeah, so here's, if you want to cut a straight line around a piece of pipe, like a square, see this, the last cut on there wasn't quite square, then you just wrap a piece of paper around it like that and trace that edge with a marker and then cut on that line. So I'll do that. Yeah, then I found the approximate center using a bit of the old geometry tricks, but the circle's not quite a circle, right? So the point that's exact center is right there. And I'll drill a hole there now. Yeah, so there, that's kind of what it's going to look like soon. That part goes in right there. And I've cut a hole in the middle there. Like this. Has a hole in the middle of it. So, anyway, that's as far as we get today, and that's as far as we get this week. So this thing here, that part there is fixed up wherever, yeah, this one here, this end is fixed up. Now I have to fix up that. And the same thing on that one, I have to build another one of these things for that other trailing arm. It's like, let me just see, I'll show you. Not much holding that together anymore. So I'll build another one on there too. Otherwise this is in good shape. Now, here we are. This would be Oh well, Friday afternoon, and it's time to quit, go make some supper, and think about what to do next. So, we'll see you in the new year. Bye for now. Yeah, this ought to end in a yelp here soon. We'll see. Yeah. As soon as the camera's looking at them, they quit, right? Not for long. Buster is relentless. Now Buster chews on the cat, and then the cat will turn around and really give him a wacko here and bite at him. Cat's not as fast moving as he used to be in his younger days. Buster takes a bite right out of his ass. Anyway, there you go. That's another day with Buster and Tony. Yeah, here we are. It's Friday, December 23. 2 days before Christmas now. And we still haven't got any snow here. We had snow for a day or two, and then it went away. We got to do back and forth across the trail, Make sure that we're going the right way here. Come on. He likes going down to the beach. When I get down at the beach, then I'll let him off the leash and he can run around a bit. But the sun is sort of trying to come through. There's a big storm on the horizon. Mostly rain for us guys. But right now it's reasonably cold for here, -2, -4, and a wind blowing. So, but then later on today, temperature's supposed to rise up to maybe 10 degrees, and a big windstorm overnight, and lots of rain coming with it. So we'll see what happens with that. At least you don't have to shovel the rain. Well, you never know what'll happen though. Anyhow, I'll check in at the beach. Yeah, so the wind's blowing pretty good. And a little bit of sun trying to come through. Anyway, the storm coming tonight. Where's that little dog? There he is. He likes coming to the beach because he gets to go out all over the place by himself. I bring him down on a leash so he's used to a leash, and then I let him come back free. Anyway, too windy and cold down here today. We'll head back up. He doesn't get too far away from me. Here, watch this. He'll fall through the ice in a second here. No, lucky dog didn't fall through. Doesn't weigh enough to fall through the ice. All right, let's go, Buster. Yeah, ankle biters. That's what he is, an ankle biter. Anyway, it's better here in the woods. And Buster and I'll head back up to the house. That's all for now. And yeah, here you are. Well, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, or a Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year. Whatever it works. I'll likely see you next year sometime. Bye for now.